Hey everyone, Mr. Garcia here again, and in this video lesson you are going to learn how to do composition of functions. Okay, so just watch how I do the examples on the notes and copy every single detail. Okay, this is going to be an interesting lesson, and again, if you need to pause the video to copy what I'm going through or what the examples I'm doing, go ahead and do that. Whatever helps you, that's what you need to do. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so before I go into today's lesson, I'm going to give you some pointers here. Okay, so there are two notations. Notice that this is an open circle here. Okay, and all this is saying is that we are going to compose a function f and g of x. Okay, so then you will see it like this, which is similar to what we did on the previous lessons. But I'm going to use this notation and you'll understand why once I go over the examples, and this just helps us not get confused with parentheses, okay, because we're going to have several parentheses when we do function or composition of functions. Okay, so the lesson is over evaluating composition of functions. And something else, this has two terms in it, and you see a second power. That makes it a quadratic binomial, and this is what the graph looks like. Okay, it's going to be a parabola. This one is a linear monomial. We only see one term, and the graph is going to look like this. It's going to be a line. And this one here is a linear binomial because we have two terms, and the graph is going to be a line, and we have a negative slope. Okay, so I just wanted to mention that real quick to give you a review of what the graphs of these three functions is going to look like. So let's go ahead and get started. So like I said, here I'm going to follow that with this problem here. So I'm going to have g, because that's g, and then I'm going to use brackets, and then inside of the brackets I'm going to have f of -4. Okay, so what that means is that I'm going to replace here, so this will be g, okay, and then instead of f, I'm going to substitute for f, and wherever I see an x on f of x, I'm going to substitute that x with the -4. So then this would be -4, and then I'm gonna take the square, and then I'm going to add 3. So I just replaced the f function and the x value with the -4. So then this will be g of -4 squared is going to be -4 times -4, which is positive 16, and then I'm going to add 3 to 16. And next I'm going to have g of 16 plus 3, that's going to be 19. And now I'm going to apply this to the g function. So notice, now I'm going to look at the g function. G function is 4 times x. So that means that I'm going to take this 4 and evaluate the g function at 19. So this will be 4 times 19 instead of 4x. So once I'm finished, this will be my answer. So g of f of -4 is equal to 4 times 19. That is going to be 76. Okay, and there is the answer for this one. So again, if you need to pause the video and rewatch this, go ahead and do so. Okay, let's go on to the next example. On this next example, again, I'm composing h and f of x. So this is what this means. Again, h is going to come out, I'm going to have a bracket, and then f of x is going to be inside that bracket. Okay, so then I'm looking at h still going to be outside. I'm going to have this bracket, but instead of f of x, I'm going to look at f of x, and that's going to be replaced by the binomial here, x squared plus 3. Okay, and now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to look at the function h, and I see that there's a negative 3 outside, -3 in front of the x, so I'm going to have a -3. Okay, and then I'm going to use parentheses, and then I'm going to replace this x with x squared plus 3. So then this is going to be x squared plus 3, and h of x also subtracts 2. Okay, so now once I'm done replacing or substituting for h, then I'm going to proceed to distribute this negative 3 to the x squared. So this will be negative 3x squared, and then negative 3 times positive 3, that's negative 9. And I have a negative 2 outside, okay? Now I'm going to simplify this. So my answer is going to be negative 3x squared, negative 9 minus 2, that's negative 11. So my final answer for this composition is h of f of x, h composed of f of x, or the composition of h and f of x is negative 3x minus 11. Okay, on the next example, I'm going to use the value for x, and this value is going to be 1/2. So then notation, I'm going to have g, the brackets, and then h is going to be inside of the bracket, and whatever I see x on h, the function h of x, I'm going to substitute that x with the 1/2. Okay, so g, and then I'm looking at the function h. The function h is negative 3 times, instead of x, is going to be 1/2, okay, because I have an x there, and then I'm going to subtract 2. All right, then this is going to be g of, I'm still going to have the bracket, negative 3 times 2, this is 3 over 1. So negative 3 times 1, I'm sorry, negative 3 times 1 is going to be negative 3 halves, okay, minus 2. But then again, this is 2 over 1, and I need to have a 2 in the denominator of this 2, so then I'm going to multiply by 2 over 2. So I can have, instead of a 1, I'm going to have a 2. So then this is going to be equal to g bracket, so negative 3/2 minus 2 times 2, that's going to be 4, and 1 times 2 is going to be 2, and this is what I wanted to have. Now we have the same denominator. So then this is going to be g of negative 3 and 4, that's going to be 7, negative 7/2. Okay, now I'm going to look at the g function. G function has a 4 in front of the x, so then this is going to be 4 times negative 7/2, and we know that 4 times 7, this is 4 over 1, 4 times 7 is 28, okay, and 28 divided by 2 is going to be 14, but this is a negative, so the answer is negative 14. So then my answer for this composition, okay, g composed of h of 1/2 is equal to negative 14. And there's the answer to that problem. Let's go on to the next and last two examples. So on this example here, okay, I have g of f of 2. So then this is going to be the same as g. I'm looking at the function g. Okay, so for this one, don't forget we evaluate the inside first. Okay, so I'm looking for f of 2. So this is f of x, and where x is 2, I see that f of x is 4. So then this is going to be g of 4. Now I'm looking at the function g, and I'm looking for where x is 4, and the answer to this one is that g of x is 3. So the answer for this one is that g of f of 2, okay, is equal to 3. And that's the answer for that problem. Let's do the second and last example using the tables. So on this one here, okay, this is going to be f and g of, we're saying 4, so g of 4. Okay, so then this would be, we're looking at the function g, and we're looking for x, where x is 4, and on this one we see that the value of y, or g of x, is going to be 3. So this is going to be f of 3. Okay, now now we look at the function f, and we're looking for where x is equal to 3. So f of x, x is equal to 3, then the answer for this one is going to be 6. So then f composed of g of 4 is equal to 6. And that's the answer to this problem. Okay, I'll see you on the next lesson. Bye-bye.